I'm just back again, do one more video. Continue off what I was talking about. I saw in that video I had excess amount of lip balm on my lips, so you probably saw some on my lips there that are kind of hanging. Oh, well, I gave you guys a good laugh, and I'm sure the people will put their comments in that don't like my video, comment about it, whatever. Gives them content to talk about, I guess. But I'm just going to show the list again to remind people about how many lives the ICE Gestapo destroyed with their brute force. Just going to do one more list here. Just want to show people how bad this is, just from last year into this year. Again, this is the list just from last year. Okay. Now you can't tell me there's not an uptick in the ICE Gestapo overreaching in the government. Alright. And again, I want people to remember these names because all these lives matter. I don't want anybody to think anyone's life is more or less important than the other. So, yeah. And I can't re-emphasize that enough because I don't want people to think I'm only paying attention to one story. And I know a lot of people are going to get this impression that everybody only cares because the last incident happened with a white woman. And I get it. And I get it. You know, we all know institutional racism is a real thing in this country. It's no secret. But I just want people to know I fully acknowledge that. And sometimes I don't get word of every event that occurs unless the media covers it more. You know? And that one got so much coverage I couldn't even ignore it. So that one didn't go over my head because it was so all over the place and loud that I had to respond to it. But to be fair, I really haven't started actively using TikTok or YouTube or any social media other than Facebook and Instagram and Twitter or X. I use and Blue Sky. But other than that, I wasn't really using YouTube or TikTok all that much, especially for content of any kind. Which I'm just doing this for free. I'm doing it for my fun, whatever. I just like to talk, so I don't mind coming on here doing this. You know, I'm not getting backed by advertisers or any sponsors or anything. I'm just coming in and talking off the cuff, which is kind of obvious because you see how unpolished my videos are. But, yeah, I just want to further reiterate, and I wanted to course correct because I kind of looked funny in the last video with the excess amount of lip balm on my lips looking a little gooey. Sorry about that. I should pay more attention when I do these videos. Sometimes I look a little sloppy. But you know, it's honestly real. That's kind of obvious, right? So, yeah. Again, though, we need accountability back in our government. We can't just turn the page and look the other way. Because if these people aren't held accountable, we are doomed to repeat the same mistake again. These people have to be prosecuted and made an example of. And they thought, since it was so funny to own the libs and target all their political opponents in the way they did, which I have no doubt ICE is doing what they're doing to target people they politically disagree with, because that's what it's starting to look like to me. It looks like more like political retribution than it is really about keeping the streets safe. Okay, and it's no secret they're trying to meet a quota in their mass kidnappings. They're trying to deport millions more people than they can possibly deport. All right, this is about profiteering from the prison industrial complex and immigration camps. This is about money. Okay? Money, ego, and political revenge. That's what this is really about. And appealing to the worst elements of society. That's all. That's all that was about. So, when the Democrats get back in office, which God knows we need to vote for new Democrats. Okay? New Democrats. Not the same old, same old. Alright. We need new leadership in the Democratic Party. And like I said, Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer need to go. We need new leaders. Because right now, like I said, I would be having public hearings on this right now. I'd be having a press conference right now. I'd be on the news, going to any station that's willing to talk to me and talk about this right now. I would go to all the independent podcasters, all the YouTubers, okay, the indie media, the progressive media. I'd be out there talking. Heck, I would even go on Fox News and ON1. I wouldn't care. I'd go right to the backyard, walk in the lion's den. And I would talk about what an infringement this is on the rights of individuals and how our government is effectively being turned into a police state. We are literally starting to operate like a third world nation. All right. This is what America was warning against. Okay. This is what I thought our values were supposed to be against. And the people that echoed the most fear-mongering, which I find rich, was the conservatives when Obama was president. And they did this whole, oh, Obama's got internment camps around the country. Really? Obama's going to kidnap people. Obama's going after people's civil liberties. Obama's going after all the conservatives. Never happened. He's going to destroy America and sell us out to foreign dictators, and because he hates America. This is the stuff people said about Obama. And a lot of that was due to racism and xenophobia. All right. And they tried to do that to scare people because they were mad that he was the first African American president to win the presidency on the Democratic ticket. Not the Republican ticket, the Democratic ticket. And he grown to be one of the most beloved presidents in our generation. Okay. That bothered them. But they could always do something about that. They can just change the wings of society they appeal to, and they can change their platform and represent something different. But they don't want to do that. All right. So that's their problem. But the thing is, Obama didn't do any of those things. Trump is doing those things right now. Trump, the leader of the Republican Party. And now Republicans are totally okay with it because it's their guy. There is no accountability here. Okay. And it shows you the people running our country, they have no class. And money does not buy class. That's quite obvious. Yet alone competence with some of these people. So, yeah, this is where our country's at right now. And I just want to remind people this every day. All right? And you shouldn't be okay with it. You should not be okay with it. And you should call this out every step of the way. Because what else do you have if you don't have your voice? All right. So, yeah. Is where we're at. And the Republican Party effectively has no morale. They have no morale whatsoever. They're willing to go and down the sinking ship with this guy. And I want to remind them, Donald Trump will not be worth their liability, especially when all this unfolds. But you know what? Time is ticking. Go right ahead. Doesn't matter to me. I'm not a Republican, so they can just hang themselves. I'm a Democrat, so it don't matter to me. But I do know, in reality, we do have to have a two thriving, healthy party. A two-party system that's a healthy two-party system. Because you are going to have the two parties, regardless. And we want them to both be healthy and functional. Because that's the realistic way to look at things. But for now, they're going to go down with the sinking ship. And they're showing the American people who they are and what they represent. And they're showing they have no morale, no character, no moral clarity. They're effectively turned into the MAGA cult that's sinking like quicksand. All right, y'all. You have a great night, great day. See you later. Goodbye. Love y'all.